Alrighty, welcome everybody to the Collegiate Racing Series webinar number 2. This is April 8th, and we are talking all about funding. We have so much interest around how do I get started? How do I get my race team started? How do I get money in the door so that I can go racing with my homies? Well, that's what we're talking all about today. So we have Jack Hobbs and Senator Smith, as well as Danny Wyke here from Collegiate Racing Series. Center, take it away, brother. All you.
Hey guys, we're gonna dive. Did you start recording?
Yes,
I guess
sir.
I heard that little boop boop. All right, hey guys, I'm Center. We're gonna really be talking about probably one of the most important things as it pertains to your team and your club, and that is money, because money makes it all easier. Here's a little table of contents, the stuff we're going to be looking through. We'll get to every one of these, so I'm just going to keep going. All right. So big picture. What do we mean by when we say big picture? This gets close to the heart of why you're doing this and the passion for why you have any interest at all in this. And that is the vision, the legacy for your alma mater, and building something that has never been built before. And so when you start with a big picture, you got to start with something, right? You fail to plan on failing. Okay. So you got to create a plan from A to Z, and then you got to figure out how to accomplish the plan and, achieve the goals that you set. Is that right? No.
No, that's right.
Okay. So responsibilities. This is kind of a baseline for money, raising money, and doing some things, and it really mirrors racing and getting in a race car too. And that is, you got to do things that you're not good at or you're not good at yet. You got to be open to doing things that you will fail at, and you will have to go and refine and figure out why you failed and then get better. And simply put, the success of your team, in large part, will live or die based upon your commitment to repeatedly go back and try and keep going and keep going. And so, one of the core components of where you will access financing is through relationships. And you're going to eat, sleep, and breathe this for the next year, or more. Really, the legacy of your team is going to be, you're going to build a legacy for your team of raising money, and financing your club, to the tune to as far as you want to. And so, be thinking big as we start talking about money. Okay. So simply put, the reality of raising money is, people, when I in my business life, going out and talking to folks, everybody has told me, through my entrepreneurship, that, oh man, I hate raising money. It's so hard. It's so difficult. Well, let me tell you, it's not difficult. Raising money is about, being honest, sharing your passion, and operating out of relationships and people that know you. And then the next thing is no excuses. There's no room, guys, for, well, I can't do that. I'm not comfortable with that. Well, we've never done that, blah, blah, blah. You just pitch that crap right out the door. That's not in your vocabulary anymore. You're going to set your mind to doing what we're going to help you do, and then you're going to go and do it. And it's like I said, it's just like being on track, whether it's a race or an HPD or anything else. You got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
And this, if I can add,
Yeah.
this is part of the entire program of helping you become a fuller human, a better racer. And
Yeah.
the we all like to crack jokes at the track that, Joe Blow is a Neanderthal and but he's fast as hell. We all know Joe the Neanderthal that's fast as hell, but Joe the Neanderthal actually isn't that valuable. And the reason is because he can't communicate back data. He can't communicate well with his engineers. He doesn't understand why the car is, working the way it's working. He doesn't know how to communicate with the techs and communicate with race control, right? And so there's so much to the racing game, and we want to introduce you incrementally throughout this process and throughout this program. But keep in mind, this is a holistic approach. There's many that come to us and say, "Hey, how do I get into racing?" And the short answer is, there's a lot to it, brother. And so
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that that is constant on our countenance here as we're listening to this, in that we're trying to help you become not only just great drivers and great racers, we're helping you become great, effective humans that are going to be launched out into the world. And so that is a big part of the value proposition that we're telling and talking about to your faculty and your staff at your colleges and universities to say, hey, look, we're not just getting money to help you guys go fast. We're helping you guys become effective members of society as well.
Yeah, this is going to pay I mean, everything about the program that we built is about launching you into adulthood as well. This is going to pay massive dividends when you get out into the world and you're interviewing, you're starting your own company, you're leading a team, things like that. It's going to be just pay huge dividends because you will have done so much work through something that you're passionate about. All right, so let's get into, just simply put, your race team, although is going to be a 501c3 or already is a 501c3 or set up that way, you're running it as though it is a business, right? And so you're gonna have the normal business checking and savings account. You're gonna have to develop an annual budget for the next 2 years because, simply put, that's going to directly correlate to your business plan to execute the budget, right? And you're going to have to be able to, on some level, when you're meeting with the people in your sphere of influence, you're going to have to articulate to some of them, what is the plan? What is the business plan? How are you paying for this? What are your expenses? Why do you need sponsorships? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so to be able to have that already built out, it becomes ingrained in who you are and it makes you an effective leader, right? And so as a baseline, it's phenomenal for you to always be thinking that you're running the team or the members of the team have responsibilities for doing certain things inside of this team as it pertains to running it as a business. Okay, this gets into the good stuff. Money makes it all possible. I hate to say that. I mean, but it is true. I mean, all of our experiences and everything that I've done, I hate to say it, but it's just simply a fact that money is what allows people to execute vision. Okay. We're heavy on everybody's like, well, she's man, I got vision for this. I've got energy behind this. I have conviction, revelation, all this great stuff behind it, but I can't do it because I don't have any money. All right. Well, I'm going to teach you and we're going to solve that problem. And so the easiest way to start is simply put, is to keep it. And the next slide, I'm going to come back to this one. The next slide is keep it simple, stupid. Okay. That's what KISS is. And if you've never heard that acronym, that needs to get ingrained in your thick skull, because simplicity always, always works. And anything you're doing, whether it's business, I don't care if it's driving a car or trying to get faster, and you're learning how to brake later, then you do it incrementally, you do it simply, you work on one turn at a time or one concept at a time. Keep it simple, stupid. Okay. So I'm going to go back to this. It all starts with revenue and expenses. And it's simple. It's easiest to keep this into those two categories because we're going to keep it simple. And we're going to start with expenses first. Well, why? Why are we starting with expenses first? I want to know how much money I have. No, you don't. You want to know how much stuff is going to cost for you as you roll out this year, 2025 and 2026, because the expenses will define the revenue that you need to collect, and then will allow you to go execute it. Okay. So for example, I'm leading whatever racing team, and I need to know what it's going to cost to achieve my goals. I need to know specifically what events I'm going to, which comp schools am I going to go to attend, how many miles is it there, how many miles per gallon am I going to get? I'm towing a trailer, or am I driving my vehicle for the comp school or the HPD event or the karting event, et cetera. Hey, we have travel expenses. We got to stay somewhere overnight. How much is that going to cost? And so building out the expenses for your calendar and your schedule is critical. And that's the first step. And I like to call it backing into it, right? So you want to figure out how this is going to work. Okay, well, let's start by backing into the expenses. And how do we do that? Well, we're going to keep it simple, stupid, right? Keep it simple, stupid. You got to get organized and you got to have a plan. This is, I can't, I wish I could shake everyone and tell them you have got to get organized. And by organized, I mean you have to build out an entire team schedule for 2025. What events, how many events are you going to go to? How many members of your team are going to go? Who's going to attend? The cost for travel, trackside, if you're going to get support, if you're going to provide, what's it going to cost? You're hauling a trailer with tools, spare parts. You've got entry fees, although greatly discounted. You're still going to have some costs associated with entry fees, fuel, all this stuff, right? Brakes, blah, blah, blah. Everything that's included. And listen, if you're like, if it's quite possible, we have some members who are just starting their teams, right? And they have no clue. And then we have other teams that have got hundreds of people on their team and they're very deep. And so if you don't know these things, if you're one of the entry level and beginning teams and you're just starting to build your team, it's okay. Don't get freaked out. Don't get freaked out. We have all the answers. We know what it costs, what you can expect. We can help define your expectations for your budget. Okay. So don't get freaked out. And then I have in here, you're basically going to add up all these things that are expenses, anything you can think of. And quite frankly, that could include fun stuff too. Okay. Because, you got to have some fun. You got to go to Buc-ee's.
Gotta go to Bucky.
You might have some, you might have some, I don't know. You may want to go to the
Team
dog
bonding
track.
events.
Yeah, thank you. Team bonding events. That's right. Yeah, you can have stuff like that. So you add it all up, and I like to say add 20% for cushion. And then you've got a list of expenses. And then it's always good. Estimate the same thing for 2026 and add 20% for growth. I put that in there because essentially what you're doing with the expenses is you're starting to build a pro forma for your business. And if you don't know what a pro forma is, it is a forecast for what you expect to spend and what you expect revenue wise and how you're going to pay for the expenses to execute your vision. All right. So team meeting, get this dialed in, get organized. All right. Money, revenue. Where does this come from? Right. This is where we get into what some would say, okay, well, I can do all the planning. I can do all the figuring out who's going where and how much it's going to cost and all that stuff. That's easy. Now we got money. Where do I get the money? All right, great. It is. I concede it is the most important thing here. So I've broken this down into a couple different levels. First of all, is your seed capital. Okay. Really, it's your seed and maintenance capital for your team. And so where do you even start with that? Well, the first thing I'm going to ask, and I ask almost every principal or lead or president of a club, is do you charge dues? Jack Hobbs, principal of Clemson Tiger Racing, you have 100 members, ballpark. 106 members. Your club has been exponentially efficient
Yeah, I mean,
at executing this.
Yeah, I mean, when I started Clemson Tiger Racing with my buddy Nathan, we did all of this. we planned, we got our expenses. We said, how much is it going to cost us to do all this crap? And we got that organized. And so we discovered that, guys, it was going to cost us $250 per person to go out and facilitate the club. Now, obviously that is on the very high side of dues, you know, uh, it's on the very high side of dues. So, I mean, it's up to you how much you guys want to charge per person, if any. You guys don't need to charge dues.
That's right.
You guys can choose to find all of your money through sponsorship deals. It does not matter.
100%.
But, it is something to consider, when coming into this, is if you have people pay $30, $40 a person as dues, that covers team jerseys. And let me tell you, the power of having everyone in a team jersey at a racetrack. We were our first race that Clemson Tiger Racing attended. We were at Atlanta Motorsports Park as part of a Jay Zella track day, and everyone was staring at us because all 40 of us were walking around in matching racing jerseys. And that was powerful. So those are the type of things that you guys got to think about when you guys charge your dues. And I'm not saying, and Clemson Tiger Racing has actually moved away from the dues structure to move forward, sponsorship deals, because quite frankly, we can get so much more money from sponsorship that we're taking all the cost off the students individually. So that's just stuff that you guys got to work out as you grow.
Yeah, that's a perfect explanation. Thank you. And so when I put in here and started with the seed and maintenance capital, if you had 20 members as an example, and everybody's like, hey, I'm putting in $100, or 10 guys and you're putting $100, and you get some seed capital to at least open a freaking bank account, right? And to get started, to get going, you've gotten in the boat, you've launched it, you're in the ocean, you're starting to go across the ocean, and you land on an island, and this is your island. Now's the time to burn the boats. And that's why I'm going to get into talking about the conviction part of what it is that you're doing. You wouldn't be on this, Carl. You wouldn't have joined as a founding member if you weren't ready to burn the boats. Okay. And that is, you get on your island and you literally set fire to your boats, and you decide, this is what we're going to do. And that represents conviction in doing and achieving this legacy. That is really important. And I know that none of you guys, girls, guys, everybody, all the members that have joined this as founding members, you have conviction. And so first of all, I applaud you that you have conviction, that you had the gumption to step up and do this because you're convicted about it. And so ante up and kick in.
Yeah.
And then secondly, I want, it's obviously, we talk a lot about this, and Jack has talked a lot about it. Obviously, facilitating your college, university to support your club. What does that look like? How much money can each university or club get, or team get from the university? It varies, right? We've talked to a ton of principals, and it varies because some are big public universities, some are small private universities, and you have everything in between. And we've got teams that get 10, 15, $20,000 from universities, and we get some that get 100.
Yeah.
So that's okay. That's fine. You can be successful, and we're going to get to how do I get successful, and do this if my university's not willing to give us anything.
Yeah.
And there are huge business and life lessons, and I want to add a little bit of gravitas and a little bit of weight to what Senator said. He's using this vernacular, burn the boats, and that can be maybe overly aggressive. But the whole idea is money speaks volumes. And I'll give you two perspectives. Number one, speaking to Senator Burn the Boats and the conviction, you having club dues should be your primary mechanism for gauging the seriousness of the individuals who say that they want to do this. In the world of business, if we're starting a company, we need to put money in, right? Money in is a show of force that you are here, that you're committed to the cause. But number two, and this is the business lesson for as you guys get outside of school, is that if you go to an investor, if you go to someone with money, they're going to look at you and they're going to say, well, how much money have you put in? How much skin have you put in the game? And you can't look at them in the eye and say, oh, well, I haven't put any of my own money and I'm asking for yours. No, it doesn't work like that. And so there's a very powerful model here. If you create a dues mechanism for your club, then it, number one, shows the seriousness and conviction of the students that say that they want to help you build this. But number two, it's going to grease the wheels when you ask for money from other entities, other family members, network, etc. They're going to look at you, they might not say it, but they're going to look at you and say, be thinking, well, how much money you put in? And when you say, hey, I've put in as a seed, $500 of my own money. I got 15 people who put $100 in each. I'm sitting on $3,000 or whatever, and we're committed. We put our money in. We're asking for you to help us out. They're going to be far more willing to stroke you a check when they know that you've already put skin in the game.
That's right.
Yeah. And I just kind of want to throw this in as perspective as we go along this path of funding is students spend upwards of $2,000 a semester on Greek life dues. Now, I know that a lot of us are, engineers, and some of us may not have had the ability to be a part of Greek life, and guys, that's a low. I know people at the University of Alabama that spent $8,000 a semester on dues. That's 16 grand a year. So as you come into this, as you start to set your sights, okay, how much money can I realistically go ask my parents for? How much money can I realistically go ask this AutoZone for? Keep that in mind when you're running this, is understand that people spend twice, three times as much money than you're going to spend on this on Greek life. And there really is no difference. We are a institution that brings together like-minded people to do some pretty amazing things. Now, I don't know the amazing things that Greek life's doing. No harm, no foul, but we're doing some pretty amazing things. And I guarantee you, if you can tell your story correctly, this is going to be a no-brainer.
Right.
What he really means to say is racing is more important than beer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well said, Peter.
Yeah, and so that brings me into kind of where Jack was going, is that is sustaining capital that provides a pathway for growth for your team. And so this is capital that is specifically sourced or raised through fans, donors, sponsor friends, family, alumni, businesses, and corporate sponsors. Your primary and your lowest hanging fruit, and where you will begin, is your direct sphere of influence. Okay, that is your closest relationships, your parents, your friends, the relationships if you have a job, people in your class, if you're in a fraternity, all that stuff, and then also alumni that is inside those. Most of everybody I speak to, they go to college, and I'm like, oh, where are you going to school? Well, I'm going to Clemson. Well, why are you going to Clemson? Well, it's, my parents went there, or I've got a relative that went there. I've always been a fan of it. I love Clemson, and that's where I wanted to go, and that's where I went, right? To some degree, you have direct correlation and direct relationships through your university or college, right? And so this is your first target, and where you're going to get the quickest success from these primary sources. Okay. And listen, there's a lot of details inside of all these bullet points, and you guys are getting hit with a fire hose, and it's okay. You got questions, just sit there and write them down. We're going to go through all the Q&A and all that stuff shortly. And we have answers for all of it. We're hitting high level stuff here, but we can get granular and detailed as well. Next is your secondary sources. And that is basically the relationships of your friends, family, job, the people that are close to you, your direct sphere of influence, their relationships, the secondary relationships. And so when you're meeting with your primary, and even when you're meeting with a secondary contact, and you're pitching what it is that you're doing, you always are asking for another meeting, or, hey, is there anybody that you might know that I could meet with and talk to about this and get their opinion on and see if they can help me? Everybody is always willing to help young kids, especially college kids, because they're like, well, these kids are going to college. They're trying to do something. They're trying to achieve something, and they're out here trying to make a way. Okay, well, you know what? Let those people help you. Okay, I can't tell you how many lunches and breakfasts I've had with my son's friends and their friends, and talking about what they're going to do, where they're going to go, et cetera, et cetera. What are they passionate about? All these things. So you've got to assert yourself, and you may not be comfortable doing this, but you got to get comfortable and ask for another meeting, or say, hey, I'd love to reach some of your contacts. Is there anybody that you could put me in contact with that I can talk to about this and get some more help? And 9 out of 10 times they're going to say yes.
And I'd like to throw in something here. This goes back to, the championship winning mindset, legacy leaving attitude, and coming in with enthusiasm with everything that you do. And I cannot overstate how important it is that you are enthusiastic about everything that you do in these meetings. Because if you're enthusiastic about asking for money, saying enthusiastic about your story, who you are, your people are, it is the biggest no-brainer for people who invest in people to invest in the passionate, to
Right.
invest in people that are truly in love with what they are doing themselves. And they are all 9 times out of 10, if they aren't directly able to invest in you, they will give you 2 to 3 to sometimes 10 people you can go reach out to, as long, even if your pitch is terrible, if you're enthusiastic about it, they're gonna want to invest or give you some secondary sources to go reach out to. So please remember that. Please be enthusiastic in these meetings.
Yeah, and even like you said, even if your pitch sucks, go and meet with these people and ask for criticism, ask for critique. That nothing makes them happier than to be able to help you. So let them help you. And that brings me to alumni. Alumni sources, as I wrote down, probably will represent your highest ROI for your team. So I am really hoping that everybody on this call knows what ROI is.
Do you want to explain that to them?
I will.
Return on investment, guys.
Return on
Highest
investment.
return on investment.
All right, I just wanted to pause for effect, Peter. Just pause for effect for a minute
I
there.
felt like you were about to not have the answer, so I didn't want to allow you for the opportunity to look stupid. It's all right. It's going to be edited out. Nathan.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, return on investment. And so you guys, a lot of people, actually, I would say the majority of people that we interact with are like, wait a minute, your club is open to alumni? You mean, Jack, you mean staff, faculty, and alumni can join Clemson Tiger Racing and participate?
Absolutely,
Okay.
they can.
All right. Well, that's a big deal because they can become, number one, dues paying members. And guess what? Those alumni, you know what they have?
Money.
Money. That's right.
And network.
That's right. They have money and network. And so they represent a massive ROI for your team. Plus, they have resources. They may be like, hey, I got a guy who does welding. Hey, I got a guy that does XYZ. That's going to be very beneficial for your team to execute fixing your race car, building a race car, whatever it is.
And when you're reaching out to these alumni, if their answer to giving you a direct check is no, then your follow-up should be, okay, well, would you like to come participate in it?
Yeah.
Would you like to come speak at our events?
Yeah.
Would you like to come to the track with us the next time that we go out? Those are your responses to when people say no.
That's right. Because you guys know, all of you people, all of you members already know what happens when you go to the track, right? What happens?
Get a big old smile on your face.
That's right. You get a huge smile on your face and you're like, this is the greatest thing ever, right? And so as soon as they experience that, it's over. It's over. They're in. So invite them, be inclusive. That is the goal here, is to be very inclusive. All right. Next is the corporate business sponsors and partners. This is just gigantic. It's huge, and it requires a little more than those first three. And that is you pursuing specific targeted businesses that you know, for starters, that love your university in some form or fashion, all around your school. There are businesses that are big.
AutoZone, O'Reilly's, local business shop, tire sponsors, Mavis, oil manufacturers. I mean, crap, anyone around your school, chances are they have someone that went to that school, or it may be even the owner of that business went to that school and founded it because he really loved the area.
Right.
That you should be going to every business, fast food chains, Chick-fil-A, these are all franchise people. Those are separate entities. They would love to come sell their product on your platform, which, by the way, guys, you have the best canvas for raising money ever, which is a race car with the ability to put logos on it.
That's right. That's right.
100%. And I'll give you another analog. I was talking with another student a couple weeks ago, and I told him just go to every restaurant in your college town that has collegiate memorabilia all over their restaurant. You go into that restaurant, you ask for the owner, and you ask them, "Would you like to help support the racing team at my school?" They already have all that paraphernalia. Of course they're gonna stroke you $100 check. That's all you need. You might be saying, "Well, Peter, I wish it was 1,000." Trust me, you start with 100. You invite them to the race. You invite them to a track day. They will get more involved. And so you have at least, and I think this is a this is deeply, um, there's probably more. Let's put it this way. There's at least 50 businesses within a mile of your school that have paraphernalia and school memorabilia in their restaurant, in their store, in their retail store. Those are the guys you want to hit up first.
Yeah. And there's nobody probably yet supporting a race team for the college, right? So you're unique. You have a great story walking in to sell immediately, which brings me to how do you get to asking for money? How do I ask for money? All right, well, this is getting to your story. Your story is one of the most powerful things that people want to hear, especially parents, your immediate circle of influence. They're interested in knowing what's going on, but it also transfers to the businesses, the alumni, everything. And so, quite frankly, your pitch when you're meeting with a business that you're trying to get a sponsorship from, it needs to be simple and it needs to be captivating. And in order for something to be simple and captivating, it typically needs to be personal. And so all of this is personal to you because you've spent some hard-earned money, time, energy, and effort to chase this dream and build a legacy. And so on some level, it is personal to you, and which makes it part of your story, right? And so that's what makes it captivating. And just as an example, I use Clemson, hey, I'm on a Clemson racing team called Clemson CTR. We joined this thing called the Collegiate Racing Series. We have a chance to go wheel to wheel racing as other colleges and universities all across America and put Clemson on top of the world of racing and auto engineering in the auto engineering world. I've added that because Clemson has a massive auto engineering platform. We're looking for new members and racers to join our club, sponsor the team, teach, blah, blah, blah. We have a 501c3 that should pique their interest because it's a tax deductible. It's a write-off for them. This is going to become the NCAA of racing, and we want Clemson to dominate. Would you like to go wheel to wheel racing with us? Most people, if you pitch that to them in a concise, articulable, passionate way, they're going to be like, holy blank blank, I'm in, right? I mean, or at the very worst, they're going to be like, say that again. Okay,
I'd like to hear more.
I'd like to hear more, right? And so, just be thinking of that because you're going to get opportunities when you're on vacation, when you're at home for the holidays, and you're at parties or whatever, and people say, "Well, what are you up to? What are you doing?" Be ready, and be inclusive, guys. Be inclusive because the more members you have of your team, the stronger they are. And they may not be a mechanic or a driver or an engineer, but you know what? You might find somebody who's passionate about it and loves this and wants to go and be part of the team. And they may be great at marketing or media or raising capital. So be inclusive. Be inclusive.
Yeah, and just one thing I'd like to, I have been very successful raising money in and around the collegiate world, specifically for race teams. I've been successful raising money for CRS. What I try to tell people, closing statements is come build a legacy with me.
Yeah.
Come build that legacy with me. And to the people that are really able to give money, that speaks volumes that you are immediately concerned with the type of legacy that you are going to leave behind for people outside of your generation. To have that mindset going into this, that's why we're hitting you guys over the head with it, is legacy, legacy, legacy.
Right.
Because that really is so powerful in so many different ways. And that's a really, I really have enjoyed using that sentence over the time, is come build a legacy with us.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the power of your story right there, guys.
absolutely. And if I could, we're going to be giving you guys templates that you
Oh
guys
yeah.
can leverage. So this is an example of one template that we're giving you, but let me give you another one while you're here, which is you are a founding member of NCAA basketball. You are a founding member of SEC football. Imagine going back in history and being able to say, I was a founding member of NCAA basketball. Like you would totally sign up for that because your name would be in the halls of legacy forever, right? And so leverage. What I'm saying is leverage the power of the Collegiate Racing Series brand, saying, "Hey, I'm a founding member of the Collegiate Racing Series." Say what? I've never heard of that. That's awesome. And then you tell them the story about why you want to get into racing. And
Yeah.
so that's it. Leverage all of the amount of good juju that you can take from our branding.
That's right. That's right. All right. So this is just the 30-second elevator pitch. The idea here is that oftentimes you might get time with these people, and it may be 30 to 60 seconds, where you're able to captivate them, and get a next meeting. And you should know this like the back of your hand. You should practice it. You should speak it. You should refine it. You should ask for critique from the people you're meeting with. And you should focus on what about this is captivating or inspirational for your audience. Why would they like to get involved? And a lot of times, like Peter and Jack have said, if you can get them to the track, then honestly, a lot of questions get answered really quickly because they see what this is all about. And so, again, simple and captivating. Let your excitement, be infectious, and talk passionately about it. Investors have got to be able to see that you're convicted about this, and that you have passion about this. That's number one. If you're excited about it, you know what? The people that care about you and the people they know will get excited about it too. So share your passion, be passionate, and wear it on your sleeve. And this goes back to the whole burn your boats thing. I love the burn your boats thing because to me, it requires conviction to burn your boats and stay on that island and build it out and be convicted. So,
Senator, if I could interrupt real quick.
oh yeah,
It's the idea that there's no plan B. We're doing this, right? We're going to build a team for our school, and we don't have a plan B. We're gonna actually make this come to fruition, and the excitement that goes through that. The other thing, if I could just interject one other thing real quick, you said it earlier. You are just empowering people with so much coming from a fire hose, and it can feel so overwhelming. But one of the things I want to throw out there, guys and gals, is this is a lot of information, but we are in this for the duration. So you can go back and watch this video multiple times. You can email us all the things. I just wanted to pause real quick and let people exhale and inhale again and realize, okay, I'm in this, it's on, and these guys are on my side.
that's right.
We are here.
100%.
Email us.
That's
We are
right.
here.
That's right.
So yeah, rules. Guys, there are some rules, and these rules are going to add as we help develop you. These are the rules that we thought were pertinent at the moment. The biggest one is you are not allowed to offer equity in your LLC for sponsorship deals. We are here to protect you. You do not want to have to deal with the SEC and all these governmental agencies that you have to deal with when working with equity. Point blank, you need to own 100% of your race team 100% of the time. That is off the table. Consequences will follow if we discover otherwise. Any contracts provided to you from outside sources, i.e., let's say you go to AutoZone and say, hey, we'd love to have the AutoZone logo on the hood of our car, and they send you a contract. Do not sign that until we, CRS Corporate, have approved it for you. We are here to make sure you do not get bamboozled. To that point, we have provided a sponsorship contract, which you are to use and utilize for any and all sponsorship contracts that you deal with, from as little as $100 to as many as $100,000. That is there to protect you as an entity, indemnify you from liability and everything that comes in and out of that. And a big one, this is just from experience and running businesses, always have a paper trail of where money goes. You don't ever want to have someone come up and start questioning where this money went, and you don't have a complete printed verifiable method of saying, hey, this is where it went. So please, cash deals, if someone says, hey, I'd like to invest, and they offer you $100 bill, say, no, you need to either Venmo this to us, Zelle it to us, wire, it doesn't matter. But check. Yeah, check. All money must, remember those. All money must be accepted through verifiable means, and that's very, very important. So it also allows you to go back if a sponsorship deal goes south and they say, oh, well, we paid you this, and you'd be like, no, you paid us this, and you have proof of it.
Right.
So, proof. All right, guys. So university funding, it can be tricky, but it's really quite easy. You just have to know who and when to reach out. I've been incredibly successful about this. So the last 3 years, I've raised almost upwards of $85,000 for all the different clubs I'm part of. So there are several key figures that I would suggest you reach out to directly. One being the faculty advisor for your formula student team at your school. Usually these are motorsport minded folks. They love racing in and out, and they love to help people that are doing that and facilitating motorsports at their university. That should be your first point of contact, because if they aren't directly able to get you money themselves out of their discretionary funds, whatever, they're going to be the ones who are going to be the best entry point of contact to direct you otherwise. The next step would be the department chair for engineering. So for mechanical, electrical, automotive, whatever, this is the department chair that you need to be reaching out to. Their emails these are all public emails. All you have to do is go to the university website directory and find them. We have email templates for you to send to every single one of these levels. So then, you go up the ladder, the director of the School of Engineering, and then the dean of engineering. So, it's the most important and crucial part to navigating the university is when and how to send the emails. The university works unlike any other corporation on the planet. They take liberties where liberties should not be taken. And quite frankly, it took me a long time to figure that out. But we're giving this to you because we want you guys to see and succeed at it. So you need to send emails early in the week before Friday and at the very latest before 1 p.m. I generally like to send my emails out at 8:30 a.m. Monday or Tuesday. That guarantees that it's at the top of their inbox when they come into work and start teaching. And it gives them 3 or 4 days in the week before Friday, so they can get the stuff done for you. If you send an email at 3 o'clock on a Friday, don't expect an email until the next week or ever. A lot of times professors have the mindsets that if it's not on the top of their inbox, it gets lost and they don't go find it again. So please make sure you're sending an email early in the week, early in the day. Utilize our templates that we're going to have posted in our community website for you guys. And don't expect a reply for at least a week. Usually you'll get one within 24 to 48 hours. But don't expect a reply within a week. Most professors and university officials will actually find it quite rude. You're pinging them before 7 days. Unfortunately, that's just the way it works. But after 7 days, you have every means to ping them and send them a little happy reminder. Hey, just checking in on this. We're really excited. We've had a whole bunch of developments. We'd like to continue to talk about this, blah, 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 blah. So those are my best. Those are the best point of contacts, best ways to navigate in and out of that. And biggest thing, biggest thing, there are 2 words, and I wanted to speak this: experiential learning. The university is all about education. You need to find a way to connect everything you do to education. And it's really quite simple. It's because we as CRS are educationally based. You are getting educated, licensed, and trained to go out on the racetrack. You are learning about the best engineering practices in and around motorsports. You are learning about the best business practices, funding, taxes, 501c3 development. It's all about education with the university. And if you can go, and I'm serious, these two words, you need to use these two words in every sentence, every document ever: experiential learning activity. How can you provide students at the university an opportunity to go experience the real world outside of an internship? So that's the whole point, is internships and co-ops are competitive. Not everyone gets that opportunity. So colleges are looking for these experiential learning activities to provide their students. And quite frankly, in and around engineering and motorsports, you have the best one. And like we talked about last meeting, it's all about systems integration and people integration. It's about building a product as a team, working together, then showcasing that product at a national stage. And that is the biggest tool in your toolbox that you need to take out and use every day. Experiential learning this, experiential learning that, and you will reap the benefits. I promise you that.
Yeah, it's critical. It's a critical term right now to be used, and especially with all the with the colleges and the administrations.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So resources, guys, we have resources for you. This is a quick snapshot of one of our resources we have. We have templates. We have emails that all you have to do is fill in your information and hit send. We have made this easy for you, so you can go out and send 200 emails in a day in roughly 2 hours. I mean, we have sponsor contracts. We are even capable of helping you find suitable sponsors in and around your community that are in the racing. Email us, say, hey, we're located in Cincinnati or Miami or Clemson or Tulane. It doesn't matter where you are. The odds are that we know some people, some areas where we know that you guys can find credible sources to go find money. We're deep in the racing world. We are.
Don't get stuck. So if you guys feel at any point in time in any part of this journey, whatever it is, it could be in how to put a cage in or how to get money or who to reach out to, anything. If you guys feel like you're getting stuck, we're here. And generally speaking, we can point you in the right direction. We can connect you with resources that can, if you get in a rut or something like that, we can help get you out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so let's not be deceived here. This is the benefits of CRS membership. We're not giving away all of our secrets of decades of suffering and pain on the racetrack to the general public. You guys get it first. And so that's why you're in their community site. And so ask us questions. Ask us, how can I do this? Or I'm thinking about trying this. That's what we're here for. And that's why your membership is so important, is because we get to pour into you all of our experiences and all of our network and all of the stories that we can tell you of how you can hopefully not go through as much suffering and pain that we have.
Yep. So, all right. So, let's just wrap up funding here. Funding is very important. We as CRS are moving at the speed of light. More and more opportunities are opening up daily. And don't be confused that we as CRS are committed to helping you achieve your racing dreams. And we are actively finding different resources, different methods, different avenues for you to go secure funding. We are working our butts off to get you the best possible experience. So understand that today, this may be the correct way to do it. But 2 weeks, 2 days, 2 hours from now, it may change.
Yeah, we may have there will be stuff that will be added to this that you will have. Obviously, you'll have direct access to as they develop things that we're working on actively. I mean, day in and day out, that is going to directly benefit you and your team. That is going to be new information and stuff like that that will greatly impact this journey, right? And that could be a deal with an OEM, or that could be a national travel deal that we're able to provide all of our members, right? Or whatever it may be.
Wink,
So
wink.
wink, wink.
Well, yes, and the center is hinting to some deep benefits that we're working on and bringing to you guys, so that we can create the entire ecosystem of discounts, so that it's that the only thing that you should actually have to pay face value for is gas, um, and that's something that we can't control.
Yeah,
Every
that's OPEC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything else we have levers to pull. One thing I want to add to this slide, and I think it's really important, is remember CRS and Garage ID are here to promote you guys, here to promote and be your megaphone. We want to hear your success stories. Did you close a restaurant at $250 as sponsorship for your club? We want to hear about it. We want to know about it. We want to be able to celebrate your successes so that other students, other race teams can be galvanized and be encouraged by what you're doing and how you're leading your team and your school and your fellow students and colleagues. And so please, anything that you guys are doing, throw it into the community site. Let us know about it. We want to celebrate you. We want to put you on Instagram. We want to put you on TikTok. We want to put you on YouTube. We want to put you on LinkedIn. And this is something that we want to do. We're passionate about this. And so this isn't a one-way street. This is a two-way highway. And I really want to make it that analogy is that we are wide, and we'll take all the data. We'll take all your information. We'll take everything that you got. Dump your success stories on us. Tell us what you're doing. Tell us how you're getting involved. Ask us questions about you're talking to X, you're talking to Y, you're thinking about Z. We'll take it all. That's why we're here. We're here to
Started a
serve.
GoFundMe. Let us know so we can share the link.
Yeah, yes, we're here to help you all the way.
Right.
So we got some questions in chat. I've
Well, hang
answered.
on.
Oops,
Hang on
sorry.
a second. We gotta get to the, this is,
Yeah.
Oh,
we
sorry,
gotta,
sorry.
so guys, gals, this, this is growing, day by day. And this is basically the event calendar, that represents, pretty much every karting, every motorsports, every HPDE, every comp school, everything that we are in the process of building that is set. And when I say set, it's set unless it gets unset, right? And there's a myriad of reasons why some dates change. It could be weather, or it could be a lot of different things. But for now, this event calendar is on the website, and this is kind of one of the baselines that you're going to work your budget from, and you're going to back into looking at things and deciding where you're going, what you can do, the events you can do, how are you going to get 2 to 8 people licensed this year or 2025 for the 2026 events, things like that. And so I encourage you to study this and use this as a resource for you building out a budget and figuring things out and making a plan.
Yeah. That's good. So, this is probably the most important thing that you as teams need to be paying attention to: planning, making sure that you are at least one of these. And these are our competition schools. So let us make this clear as early as we can. You will not go racing unless you earn a racing license. That's just the reality of it. It's not safe. We're prepared to help make this happen for you. But you have to attend an event. These are the competition schools that we have on our calendar for 2025. Every one of your drivers needs to attend one, at least one.
Unless they have,
Unless they already have an SCCA
Yeah,
FIA equivalent license.
yeah.
If they're already licensed, no big deal. They don't have to attend it. This is for students who have never been licensed before. They are there. Take a picture of it, screenshot it, whatever you need to do. You need to be at one of these events. And we'll talk about this 2,000 times over again between now and when these events happen. So don't feel like, this is the only time we're going to speak about it. We're going to be continually asking you to be here. And keep in mind, we're working daily to add more events to this. We are working on getting a comp school up north. We are working on getting comp schools way out in Texas. we're working on it. But these are the events that we have as of right now. So please plan to be at least one of these. They are all over. They are spread out wide throughout the dates. You have some during the summer. I know that some people may be more readily available. Some people may not. This is what you need to do. Your drivers need to be at one of these.
Yeah, and let me piggyback on that, that if you're might be seeing this stuff, you may be like, well, I'm in Illinois or I'm wherever I am and I can't get to Atlanta. And is there one that's going to be, you're going to have those questions. I get it. And so I'm going to front run some of those right now. And that is, we are prepared on a scale to come to you to execute a competition school. And that is, now we're not going to come to you in force for one person or two people. We want to target areas. For example, the Florida schools and the South Georgia schools, the ones that are able to make it to Sebring or Miami Homestead, things like that. We want them to, come to a track that's close to them. We're trying to make it easy on the participating teams. And so that's where at AMP in Atlanta, which allows us to get to Southeast teams to come to Atlanta. We're back at Sebring, which gives the Florida and South Georgia schools and South Alabama schools the ability to get there. NOLA for the Texas and Louisiana schools. Then another one at the firm. And then I put one on there that is to be determined that I slated for July 26th through 27th. Specifically at Gateway at Worldwide Technology Raceway, that which I still will always call Gateway, but they working. We have a lot of schools in that area. Rankin, Catholics not far from there.
Yeah, Catholic's not far. The Virginia schools aren't far from
Right.
Gateway.
And so that's one of the goals is that I want to make sure that we can get there to service the schools. And so if you guys look at these dates and you're looking and you're making your plan, you're trying to figure out your budget and you're backing into it, like I have said, and you're trying to pick some dates. And if something doesn't work or you can't find a date or it's difficult, or whatever the problem is, reach out to us, okay? And we will help try and find a solution to, if we can garner enough people to come to the event, even if we have to build an HPDE day to help cash flow the comp school, we're willing to try to do that, right? We're willing to go to the ends of the earth to help you guys get licensed and make this happen. So, and again, this is just this really just represents through November. There's going to be additional opportunities as we continue to go, because we're going to continually be doing this, enrolling people through comp schools, through HPDE, through, all the education that we have with FARA, with Jzilla. And so it's going to grow. It's going to continue to grow. This is just basically represents 2025, right?
Yep.
So I think that's the last slide.
It is.
Okay. So you want to do it? I'm sure we got some questions or something. Maybe not.
I've been answering all the questions in chat. I believe that all of my answers to the questions are sufficient. But if you guys want to look over the questions Jack and Center and my typed answers in response, you can amend or add to them as you see fit.
Tap into some existing FAR racers. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it's Carlos.
Yeah.
Hey, Carlos.
Carlos.
Yeah, Carlos is a great person. You will all get to know Carlos. Love him. Yeah, absolutely. Existing FAR racers, they definitely, I hope all of them have attended a college. I'm sure all of them have attended something at some point. Absolutely. It's just more profound than explaining it to them. Yeah, absolutely, guys. In person, is the best way to do it. Then, like what Carlos said, AI generated image of a race car with their logo on it. That's powerful. Imagery is oftentimes more powerful. A picture can say 1,000 words. That is amazing advice.
What do you mean? Let me, this is somebody's, it says, what do you mean by critique from people? you're meeting with. And what I was speaking about when I was talking about the pitch is typically, especially in your immediate, your primary sphere of influence, your family, your friends, your classmates, things like that, that is the lowest hanging fruit. When you are initially reaching out to ask and explain what it is that you're doing, and ask for money or ask for membership, things like that, it's important to go into that meeting with, hey, you're not going into that meeting to sell them something. You're going into that meeting to ask them for help. And well, what do you need help on? Well, I want to talk to you about this idea and this thing that I'm very passionate about, and I want to get your input. I'm just interested in what you had to say about what it is that we're doing. So let me just tell you about it, and then you're able to tell them about it and ask them, say, can you help me? Did I say that well? Can you critique what it is that I said to you? And that, first of all, you are hooking them into the vision and the passion of what it is that you're trying to do. And you're willing to be vulnerable to them and allow them to critique you and what it is that you're doing. And that represents power in your story. And so be passionate and be open and be transparent about what you're trying to do. Okay, guys. And so that's what I meant on when I was talking about critiquing your pitch. And
Yeah.
listen, we'll do it. Listen, we'll do it too. If you come to us and be like, hey, I want to talk through something, great. I'll jump on the phone with you. Peter will, Jack will, Danny will. We'll all jump on the phone and help you guys, or in a Zoom or whatever it is.
Yeah, and it's just something that I've actually found pretty amazing how powerful it can be. Is, at car shows, car events, we all love cars. We're all doing this because we love the environment that it creates. One of the best ways to do this is, hey, I had this idea I'd like to run by you.
Yeah.
That is probably the most powerful, amazing sentence you can say, because it approaches the situation as you're asking for help, which everyone loves to be asked for help. It makes them feel good about themselves. It's the whole, sociality of it, of human being, but it enables you to have kind of a free zone to talk about stuff, to run into areas that you may not have fully polished yet. But it piques their interest. And then they ask, where'd you get this idea? And then you say, oh, well, by the way, we do it. And we are part of the collegiate racing series. We do go racing. We do all this stuff. And they're like, oh my God, let me jump in now. And it's an amazing way to get in.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, guys, this curriculum that we've built has, just so you know, has been, we've pulled from Skip Barber, Level Up, SCCA, NASA, Bondurant, and then some of my early racing schools that didn't even have names, with Jim Fitzgerald back in the mid 80s. that we had great content. We kind of pulled all this content together to build this curriculum. And so there is, and you're not in it right away, because we're talking to you about setting up a team and all the dynamics and the logistics of doing that. But we're going to get into, starting next week, of things that are really relevant to, hey, you're getting ready for your first HPD event. What can we expect? And I'll tell you what, one thing you can expect is you're going to have guys that are in here teaching you on every topic that are subject matter experts. We'll have instructors from FARA. We'll have professional drivers, professional mechanics, guys that are experts at scales and weight and camber and toe and caster and blah, 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 and all this stuff. So you're going to be taught by the best folks in the country and some parts of the world on these specific subjects. And especially as it pertains to racing, and being prepared for the comp school. So by coming and being involved, obviously, in the webinars, week after week, and it's not necessarily every week, but it's going to be multiple weeks every single month, that you're going to gain exposure to the things that so by the time you go to comp school, a lot of what you are going to hear in comp school, it ain't going to be the first time you've heard it. It's probably going to be the second, third, fourth, fifth time you've heard it. And you will have had some experience, hopefully with iRacing, hopefully with karting, hopefully with HPDE. You're solo qualified, and boom, you're ready to walk right into the comp school and crush it.
Yep. Yup. Experience. No. How do we get swag bags? Yeah, that Peter's answer was great. Something I do want to say, you will be receiving an email with a kind of a member profile tomorrow, which will include all of the necessary information from you and about your club. So this will include name and point of contact for your team principal. It will include the logo PNG files. It will include your doing business as. It'll include your EIN, and the reason why we want to have your EIN is to keep track of it so that if we have one of our big pocketed sponsors come and say, hey, we'd like to donate to this school directly, they're going to need that EIN to verify your 501c3 status. That is going to include everything that we need to know about your club, your colors, all of it. So please be on the look at that. If you do not have that information when it's sent out, that's okay. Please get it to us as soon as you can, because that is so important, because we are also going to help advertise you. That's something big. We have marketing deals on the table to advertise teams individually. And we will need all of that information from you as soon as you can get it. So be on the lookout for that tomorrow. And yeah.
Right on.
So
what else y'all got?
I think that's it.
That's it.
Wow, that was nice. That was succinct.
That was awesome. Yeah, guys, it's not hard. I mean, it really isn't. Funding is just something you have to go do. There's really not a better way to put that. Then you just have to go do it. There is no excuse. There is no excuse for you not going out and asking your parents, your uncles, your aunts, your businesses, the fast food restaurant you ate at last night. There's no excuse. You just walk in there, and you guys should be proud to go do this. You don't need to be embarrassed when you go in groveling for money. You go in there strong, and say, yeah, I'm a race car driver for my university's team, and we're offering you a chance to help us facilitate that. You guys need to be proud, and you guys should. There are no excuses for this. It can honestly be fun at times, because I can tell you, when you get that first big check, it is life-changing.
Yeah, you guys are building, really the story, and what you guys are here for is to build this legacy. You're passionate about it already. We've talked to most of you, and we know that you're passionate about it. So let that passion carry through when you're sharing. And again, be inclusive. One thing that Jack has done and Nate have done is just an awesome job. Is their excitement is infectious, and that has allowed them to grow exponentially. And substantial and exponential growth equates to money. Whether it's dues or whether it's sponsorships or whatever it is. And so be inclusive and go after everybody. Invite people to the track, expose them to the club, tell them what you're doing, tell them about CRS, and it's on. You won't believe the success you'll have in such a short period of time.
And this is where I can't believe we didn't mention this. This never stops. This really, there is no okay, we're going to do this for the next 60 days and then stop. You always need to have this mindset that every opportunity, every person we meet is an opportunity for us to bring something beneficial for both parties. And if you go with that mindset and ingrain it in your brain, you're going to walk away. Maybe you do the first 60 days, you walk away with 25 grand, but then you continue to act fastidiously and do it the way that we're trying to get you to do it. You guys may walk away at the end of the year with 100 grand.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I know that sounds like, oh, there's no way these guys are going to get 100 grand. It's not that hard.
No,
It's not.
And let me extrapolate that to a little bit of hyperbole, but it's really not. And that is that I am confident that your clubs, Miami, USC, TCU, all you guys, especially the ones that are just starting the clubs and may be a little nervous about this. Let me tell you that it is very, very possible for you to get to the end of the year and to have multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars in funding that support your team. Okay, that's very, very reasonable to do. So I would encourage you to aim high in everything that you're doing in this. Aim high and go get it, because you guys can do it. I promise you. We're here to help. We'll help teach you. Listen, we'll be in the meetings with you if you want us in the meetings with you. Okay, so whatever you guys need, we're here to help with.
So, yeah, guys and girls, that pretty much sums it up. You'll hear us talk about funding here and there, probably every meeting from now until the end of time.
Yeah, you're gonna. Yeah.
But this is the best way that we saw fit to enable you guys to go get the most amount of money possible. So if that's it,
I'll say one more thing real quick, if that's okay, which is there's a level to which embracing discomfort is very healthy. Whether you're on the track and you're uncomfortable in turn one because you're carrying a high speed, you're a little hot, or it's approaching admin or alumni or whatever, there's a level to which, whether it's life experience or it's racing or it's this club or team that you're building, embracing this comfort will bring so much bigger comfort down the road in the success of what you experience with the result of embracing the initial discomfort. And so part of this is going to be that it's going to be like, I'm not comfortable going to this person. I'm not comfortable sending this email. I'm not comfortable doing this. Embrace it for the bigger picture that they've been talking about, which is there's a greater purpose than just me and me getting in a wheel and driving a car. It's a legacy. It's a college, it's a university thing. It's so much bigger than me. So if you'll just I just encourage you to embrace the discomfort, step into it. We got your back. We're going to give you everything you need to know and do to make this work for you guys.
Yes,
Right.
I want to echo that because I love Danny so much. Like, we are here to help you all the way. So please don't hesitate. A lot of the answers to a lot of your questions were ask us in the community site. That's your place where you paid for access. And so if you have questions about anything you're doing, I love the fact that Center offered this. I actually can't believe you did, but I'm glad you did. Center said, hey, if you want us to be on the call with you, we will. Well, Center will. Center will be on the call with you.
Yeah, I
So
get on that.
I'll be on the call too, guys. We're here to make this happen. So
absolutely. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here for our second webinar. This is a motley crew, and so one of the things that we're thinking about, because I got a DM about this from a participant from the previous, is whether we could open it up and show faces. I think one of the things that we're testing out here is to make sure that you guys can get in here safely, since it now is not open to the public. I'm thinking we can then our next webinar we can show faces and we can kind of get to know each other better, because we really want to make sure that it's not just us pouring into you, but you pouring into us as well and giving us your feedback. We want to be able to know who you are, be able to talk to you and match a face to a name. And so again, we have kind of parental controls on this Zoom right now, but since we're moving forward with CRS members only, we assume that you're going to be respectful during these webinars, and so I think it'd be great to be able to show everybody, and we'll start some of those experiments as we move on to the next webinars.